Hey everybody, this is Bacter. I picked up this game here, Celeste, more or less randomly because I liked the pixel art and it showed up on a Steam recommendation page. And later I found out it was like winning Game of the Year and is just a really, really good, solid, excellent platformer. The controls are good, the difficulty is punishing. Let's go through and just play it. Now, the music is a very high point of this game, so I figure let's crank that up just a little bit for your enjoyment and mine. Yeah, I like basically everything about this game. No need to look at my main save file and see how many deaths there are. Yes, they are in the thousands. I'm not great at platformers. Never actually played all the way through Super Meat Boy or anything like that. But Celeste here is different. Now, your main character's default name is Madeline, but we, of course, have changed it to Bacter. We're gonna do it. You and me, viewer. We're going to breathe, and we are going to... I feel like this is seasonally appropriate to climb this mountain. Why be so nervous? Is it on account of the outrageous death in front of us? It might be. Isn't that some nice-looking pixel art? Look at the strain of the light pulls there and everything. So, yeah, we're wanting to climb this here mountain. We can do a few things. Right now we can jump and hold on to ledges, thusly. This is really only three things you'll be doing in the course of the game. You jump, you eventually can dash, and by eventually I mean very soon, and you can climb ledges like that. I think I actually died on this intro screen the first time I played it, which is, from a game completion perspective, just the height of embarrassment. I'm gonna shut up, because writing is really good in this game, too. Thanks, old coot. I like this lady. Yep. She just goes off laughing into the night. Yeah, that's the way it goes. Surprise, surprise, the bridge starts to collapse. I bet nobody saw that coming. This is a little finicky here. Like, you have to jump far enough for this bird to land and give you your life-saving piece of advice. Oh, hey, remember how you can do a mid-air dash? You only get one. Notice how our hair turned from red to blue. Once your hair is blue, the dash is exhausted. It's kind of a double jump, but not quite as easy. Like, it's a separate button to activate it. So yeah, that's the prologue. I think we're probably going to do this chaptorally, so I will do... every chapter I will do one chapter's main playthrough, and then I'm going to release a supplemental video each chapter doing the secret B-side, as well as getting all the collectibles, if I miss any in the main run. So yeah, every time you land, you refill your dash, your hair turns back to red, which is a really handy way of looking at it. Those strawberries don't affect anything in the gameplay, they're just collectibles. We will be getting all of them, of course, and in general, you can, even if you're not really good at games, you can probably play through the main game okay. I mean, it'll take you a while, and it gets quite challenging eventually, but you can do it. But getting the strawberries and then the secret special extra stuff is a little bit more of a challenge. If you're on one of these coasters and you jump right at the end, you get a special boost, as you might expect. This here is a winged strawberry. If you dash at all, as the signs indicate, it goes away. Those are breakable ledges, they come back after a minute. Everything is pretty intuitive. The controls are very tight and great. Sometimes with secret doors you get a little sunburst effect like you kind of saw there, showing you that there's something through it, sometimes not. The game seems to be optimized a bit for speedrunning. There's a speedrun counter you can have playing. We're not going to have that. This is more of a casual thing. It also keeps track of your deaths, and believe me, you will die a lot in this game. I think this screen here is going to be my first deaths, actually. Yep, I'm out of dash here. You only get a limited amount of time to cling onto walls. That evaporates. If you ever get your dash back, then your cling time also regenerates. The one thing I don't like is cling time feels very, situational. It varies room to room, I find. Once you get a strawberry, even if you die on the same screen, it's gone. But yeah, that's kind of a bummer with the cling time there. Now, not always is this the case. Died there, I feel like a dummy. But there are some breakable walls you dash into and break them. Anyway, you can basically see that strawberries are just the explore and give yourself extra challenges part. I mess up in clusters in this game, I find. You can see I got some extra heft on that jump by jumping right as the thing was finished there. That was a pretty near miss. I was flashing red, which of course means that cling is almost out. There are, of course, wall jumps in this game. Wall jumps do not hurt your cling meter, so whenever possible, if you're going to be jumping for long distances, you're going to want to use the old wall jump. That floating diamond, I expected this the very first time I played. It replenishes your jump. You touch it, you get your dash back, which is great. It's a linear path, but there's quite a bit of exploration. This is Theo. Theo is incredible. I'm just going to shut up till he's done. It's probably supposed to be clear. I think the first time I played, I thought Theo had crashed that plane. It's not true. This is just a ruin. He's just built a fire by a ruin. I'm almost certain. I like how they wiggle the text. I don't really think these optional conversations affect anything, but the writing is, like I say, genuinely pretty good. Yeah, I'm old. I might have asked somebody if they had a blog. I like that they differentiate Theo's goals from yours very early on. YOLO! Also not true, you die a ton in this game. You live as many times as you need to. But whatever, that's Theo. He will obviously be showing up later. And he's just a super cool guy. I'm a big Theo fan. I like how they handle the kind of en media res part of the story. We don't need a ton on, I should say Madeline's, Bacter's background. All we know is we're here, we have some stuff we're dealing with mentally, and in order to sort of exorcise those demons, we're climbing this mountain, come hell or high water, which both will come in due time. I think it's implied that this is in Canada somewhere, this here mountain. Anyway, it's certainly way out in the boons. Notice the different texture down where I just jumped into that secret area. You kind of learn to recognize things like that as you go through. It does pay to pay attention in this game, look at your surroundings, and, just see what's up. I don't know what that spooky statue is supposed to be. But just about anything that you can see, you really get a handle on pretty easily in this game. It's something that I really appreciate. The level design, the game design, everything is, secret, is really polished to a mere sheen. With a precision game like this, that's really just a necessity. If the controls were sticky or the jumps were too late or anything like that, that's just a death sentence for something like this, but they're not. Almost got crushed by it there. You can see that I'm frequently almost running out of dash. Now, this section over here is going to introduce something new to us. It looks like there's just a strawberry, but you can see this communication satellite here. I'm going to cut out a little bit of this part here, because what you're supposed to do is look at the sequence of colors coming out of that satellite, and notice that the color birds dash in particular directions. You then copy that dash. I take way too long figuring out which dash is which, so I'm just going to cut to me doing it, so I will see you back then. And how about that, ladies and gentlemen? We got it. By dashing in that sequence, you make the first of the hidden collectibles appear. Notice that you can't get it by just jumping into it. You have to actually dash into this sucker to get it. And once you do, in every level, there is both an unlockable to unlock the B-side, the super hard version of the level, and there's a crystal heart like that. Again, they don't really have gameplay benefits. They're just hidden extra challenges. Strangely, because this is the first level, I thought they were all going to be puzzles like that. That's really the only puzzle there is in the game. That's like that. Most of them are just hard jumping challenges, is what I'm getting at. But yeah, it's very satisfying to find both of those, and you do have to do quite a bit of exploring to, get them all. The thing about the strawberries, you may notice, once you get them, but you have to jump to a safe bit of ground. Basically, you have to escape the trap that they were in order to collect the strawberry. And here, normally that's touching any piece of ground, but later on, you'll be in dangerous areas, so you'll have to escape the area to collect the strawberry. I, of course, being a completionist, just wanted to get all of them. You can tell, even in this early stage, and believe me, it gets a lot crazier, that precision jumping is kind of the name of the game in Celeste Mountain. It's sort of a famous mountain in universe, I guess I can say that. Notice you just look for that tiny gap in the spikes is how you figure out where to go here. You can cling to the sides of these things. Either jumping on top of them or clinging to the sides makes these boxes run around. And, I'm not sure exactly what they're supposed to be, but it does kind of fit the ruined city aesthetic. Based on what we know, this is like a mountain where spooky stuff happens, maybe. I shouldn't use the dash that early. I feel like in these longer kind of puzzles, one of the easiest things to do to kill yourself is use your dash a little bit too early. But nothing is really super bad this early on. I'm planning, incidentally talking about strategies, I'm planning on including most deaths, I'm just going to have unbroken run, so you can kind of see how Celeste goes. Once you more or less know what you're doing, I have beaten the game. I've beaten all but one of the B-sides as of time of this first recording. I'm going to be working on that last B-side for the last level, and it is a doozy. So I do have a ton of deaths, but I, did end up beating it, so I sort of know what I'm doing. It's fun to figure out some of the puzzles. So here you might figure out what you're supposed to do is dash up onto the one side of this thing, ride it over, jump, grab, jump back, and then jump up there. And, all of this has to be done pretty much first cycle, or else you lose your grip power and fall off. So, there we go. Get the strawberry. Yeah, if I end up on a screen where I end up dying lots and lots of times in very similar ways, I might try to do something where, I show what the particular difficulties were for me, and then how they were eventually overcome. And a lot of it ends up being, for me anyway, just kind of getting muscle memory for certain tasks down, and then if a level or a room is hard enough, getting the muscle memory for that room down. Now, you saw that there was some exploration, and there certainly is quite a bit of it. Sometimes, unfortunately, you enter into a room and it locks you out of a previous area. Like you can see here, there's that wooden grate over the floor, so I can't go back down. Now, I'm not completely locked out of this area, but sometimes you will miss a strawberry. Now, this room, once you hear that music, you'll know you're in a B-side room. That tape is the B-side. You get a really neat remix of some of the music, unfortunately. There. Didn't quite get it. And you unlock the harder level, so it's really worth it to do the B-sides. They're really masterclass challenges. The first B-side, they're all super hard. So I will show this off, like I said, in a sort of a supplemental video for this first one. It took me a long time to get past the first screen of this first B-side. The challenge is really, like, drastically ramped up. But, I don't know. Something about this game, like, what I will say is, it's split up into small enough chunks. Like, you never have a level which is so long and so arduous to redo, like a screen, that it just becomes, like you wouldn't even want to do it at all. Even if you're just crawling through step by step the B-sides, they're really not that bad to do, and there is quite a feeling of accomplishment for getting them right, basically. And you do feel very skilled getting the just the abilities, the skills, and like the practice down to get the B-sides completed. I'm sure if you want to look out there and find, I'm approaching this the way I do most games I play that are skill-based, which is sort of taking it easy. For instance, if I had gone right there, I would have gotten a strawberry. That ends up being the only strawberry I miss in this first level, so I'm gonna have to. I'll get that on the supplemental video that I put out. Anyway, I was gonna say, I just try to take things more or less easy. I'm sure that with a game this skill-based and precision-based, you'll get people that are speed-running it and just getting unbelievable tech down. It's the kind of thing that I'm sure is probably almost harder, was certainly harder casually. Like, it'll be a much bigger time investment to speedrun this thing, but there's not really a lot of RNG. In fact, I can't think of much at all. I think almost everything is deterministic. Now, notice how you make that ice block there fall down. It doesn't really serve any purpose, so that's a good hint that there might be a secret there. That's one of the harder ones to find, though. I did not look at the wiki until very, very late in the game. And I think by that point I was just going to try to get done with some of the B-side levels, and they were just, like, hard enough that I didn't even really feel bad about some of the challenges, just looking up how to do them. Some of them require some mechanics that the game doesn't even tell you about. Anyway, this here memorial is the end of the first level. I've got a lot more to show you. I really like this game. I hope you enjoy watching it too. So I will catch you guys for the next chapter, and I'll also catch you on the supplemental video if you want to watch that. See you in a bit. No. Also, at the end of every chapter, you get these adorable graphics, as you're about to see there. Look, she's got the sleep bubble.